9 damage with their glaive worms. Let's take a quick look here. Yeah, they do 9 damage with their glaive worms, and they shoot a little slower than mutas, and mutas do 12 damage. So if I had, mutas, not mutas, hydralisks. So if I had hydralisks, I would actually be able to do a lot more damage, much easier to defend. Hydralisks take these down like they're paper planes. It's so easy for hydralisks to kill, and I don't know why I did not take the hydralisk. I thought, you know, I'm on 3 base against the 2 base Protoss. I should be able to out macro him. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to out macro him. I'm doing my best. I am actually pretty high on minerals, so if anything, I should have put my guys on gas, and I still haven't put it on gas. I'm only running on 3 gas right now. This is very, very poor macro. You know, it just, there's really nothing to say. It was terrible. Looks like I do kind of have my 3rd expansion going. Not really, I just have a queen out. It's not saturated at all. Let's take a quick look at the harvester count. 30 harvesters to his 46, so he's going to have just a bit more income. I wouldn't say more income. He's actually doing a terrible job of saturating. So, really, I made a lot of big mistakes. And my opponent, not saying that he's a bad player, I think he could have done a better job macroing as well. He should have actually been able to take this game much sooner, but he got Void Rays. If he actually opted to get Mass Stalkers, that probably would have been good as well. Maybe transitioning out of Void Rays. But seeing that I'm still going for mutas, and I have this like ragtag team of mutas, he's going to continue to make Void Rays, and that's actually fine for him, because this amount of mutas is not very good against this amount of Void Rays, and mutas just, they don't seem that great against Void Rays, especially from this game. Like, I even have the plus, or I am getting the +1, I think. Hopefully I do. At one point I actually do get a +1, but it's really not that effective. If anything, hydralisks would have been much more effective. I am going to try to pick one off and run out, but at the cost of what? A couple mutas? That probably isn't the best. Granted, Void Rays are expensive, but still, if I opted to get mutalisks, or hydralisks, wow. If I opted to get hydralisks, I would have done a lot more damage to his Void Rays, been able to fend it off much easier. So, this wasn't a smart choice, and I'm gonna keep criticizing myself for that and beating myself up for getting mutalisks. I really don't know what else to say. Like, hydralisks would have been a better choice. But you know what? I'm gonna stop whining, stop beating myself up for that. That's why it's good to watch replays. You can really learn what you did wrong. And I kind of knew after losing what I did wrong, and I was just punching myself in the face, slapping myself in the face for that. Looks like he is going to be able to clean up my mutas. I don't think I'm getting the +1 yet. No, but my opponent hasn't upgraded as well, so it's fair grounds. It looks like my opponent does have a lot of stalkers just chilling here doing nothing. I do have a few roaches here just getting hit, kind of slapped around in the face. I don't know why. He does have a lot of cannons blocking off the front as well. Looks like my opponent will be opting to take this 3rd expansion. And just a lot of damage is going on because I cannot deal with these Void Rays. So think how much easier it would have been to get Hydralisks. But I do have a lot of queens and a couple mutas as well coming out. I should have transfused that queen. I do transfuse a couple of my mutas, so okay play on that part. At least I have some of the micro down for this game. These Void Rays are pretty softened up, so it looks like my Mutalisk is going to chase him around. And right now my opponent is getting his expansion. If I only spread the creep just a little bit sooner, he would have had to get out an observer. Or he probably does have one somewhere in the field. I forget where it is, but yeah, there it is. He would have just had to move it over to kill this, but still, that would have delayed his expansion just a little bit, and I might have actually had a fighting chance. But yeah, just not the greatest play from my part. I actually opted to move my Spore Crawler over into this area. So right now, let's take a quick look at the production tab. Three more Void Rays coming out. So my opponent does have a lot of Void Rays. Look at all that gas he has. So he actually did opt to get gas quite early in the game. He does have a lot of Stalkers just lined up here doing nothing. So yeah, it's really a fair loss for me. Like, even though I know my opponent isn't better than me, I think I could have actually beat him if I was playing smart, if I was in the right mind, but my opponent did best me. He played better than me, he out-macroed me to an extent. Oops, that's the units lost tab. I'm gonna look at the income tab. Well, yeah, he did out-macro me to an extent, but I should have use my minerals better by getting Hydralisks instead of Mutalisks. So that was one little issue I had in this game. I am starting to get a critical number of Mutalisks. Actually, this isn't that much. I should have somewhere around like 12 to 14. I should have had at least maybe like 20, 25-ish mutas if I didn't sacrifice them so early on. Instead, if I was able to defend all the crazy Void Raid harass that was going on here, I would have had a lot more mutas, and I would have been able to counter such a big Void Raid army. But he did bring back a few of his Void Raids, so good micro, saving some of his Void Raids. Now he does have his third expansion up, so I'm actually in a lot of trouble now. He's going to be making a lot of probes, so he's going to be pulling ahead in macro here, and he actually has a pretty good defense up here, spreading his cannons out. So my opponent now is on 3 base, and I'm on 3 base, and as a Zerg player, you do not want to be behind 1 base, or on even grounds with your opponent in bases. You always want to have 1 more base than your opponent, so that was a little unfortunate. And that was actually pretty funny. This probe came here to try to put a pylon down here, but instead he's met with 2 hatcheries and all these drones. It looks like I do still have a lot of roaches, but what's missing with this unit composition is Hydralisks. I can't keep stressing that enough, and you guys are probably getting annoyed, but I do have 2 hatcheries because I have a lot of minerals to spend, so I am going to be spending those minerals. Looks like right now my opponent is coming down with his flock of Void Rays, going to be doing a lot of damage, and just watch how fast these Mutalisks melt away. I think, oh excuse me, burp. Whew. I think I only killed off one Void Ray with all those Mutalisks, so as you can see, Void Rays or Mutalisks just weren't the best choice to kill off these Void Rays. I'm actually now opting to kill off his little expansion here. But his Void Rays are on hot pursuit of my roaches, and I think he's easily going to be able to take this down. I'm trying to focus down his Nexus. I'm trying to do some economic damage out of desperation, but just to no avail. My roaches are sadly going to die. Look at all those little bloods and guts. So depressing. I do have an Overlord here, so yeah, I am watching his base slowly getting mined away, and not really paying attention. So wow, I actually do have a lot of mutas. So you can see in this game, I never really got that big amount of mutas, that threatening number. This really is like half threatening, not really that threatening. I am going to take down this this cannon here. I'm going to do just a little bit of damage. I still am way behind in harvester count, so my opponent is doing a much better job macroing. But at the same time, looks like I did put down a wall of spore crawlers, but he's going to be able to take this down easily, especially with those +1 upgrades now, as well as my Mutalisks. They do have +1, but they're not going to be doing that much against Void Rays. And he looks like he's going to be able to clean up this 3rd expansion very easily, not a problem at all, and now I'm behind 2 bases. And pretty much at this point, I'm trying to think in my head, you know, what went wrong? What the heck did I do? And I'm hitting myself in the head saying, I should have gotten Hydralisks. So sorry about that. Looks like my video actually cut out. I don't know what happened there. But as I was saying, I should have gotten Hydralisks, not Mutalisks. So Mutalisks weren't the best choice, and it looks like I'm actually experiencing just a little bit of lag here, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, to deal with this army, I should have gotten Hydralisks because all he has are Void Rays, nothing else. He only has like a handful of Stalkers, and Hydralisks would have been a counter for that as well. So if anything, Hydralisks were the best choice. That and not macroing well, not building enough harvesters, maybe spreading creep just a little bit better. I think I could have done a better job of that. And scouting was so crucial, especially in the beginning. Especially right here, when I knew that his ramp wasn't blocked off, I should have just attacked. Or done some kind of early roach rush. But that just kind of goes to show that you really shouldn't be playing StarCraft when you're not in the right mindset, when you're kind of angry, when you're in that state where you're frustrated. Which I was, so you can see that I wasn't really focused. I didn't put gas for a long time, and right here, like, it looks like I only have 2 on gas. So, yeah, terrible macro, terrible unit choice, and, you know, I just wanted to show a game of myself losing as well, because You know, who wants to see me winning all the time when, you know, that's not true. I'm not always winning. I'm losing games as well. So I lost a lot of games today, about 3 or 4, as well as winning about 4 or 5. So, you know, kind of like came out as an even day today. I think I could have done much better. I'm trying to regain my third, but at this point, it's pretty hopeless because he does have a huge army. Gosh! It's frustrating. I'm telling you, it is very frustrating. These spores are going to be doing nothing, and even trying to transfuse there, but really to no avail. I do transfuse that, but really I should have gotten Hydralisks. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I cannot keep saying that enough. So yeah, let's kind of recap really quick what I should have done. I should have gotten Hydralisks. 2, I should have gotten Hydralisks. 3, I should have gotten Hydralisk. 4, macroed better. 5, scouted and actually trusted my scouting information. So yeah, just a lot of bad choices, bad decisions, and knowing that you could have beaten your opponent but you didn't. There's really no point in beating yourself over the head because the game is over, the game is done with, and you know, now I have a fresh start. I can try again. And what was funny, right after I did this game, I took my break, and then I told myself, if I ever face Protoss, I'm going to make Hydralisks for sure. If I ever see a Protoss not walling off, I'm going to be rushing for sure. And promisingly enough, that actually happened in the next game. My Protoss opponent actually didn't wall off, and I ended up just beating him with roaches alone. So, a lot of mistakes I made, but I just wanted to give you guys an example of what went wrong, and just a show of me losing as well. And showing that, you know, it's not an easy road to Diamond, to becoming a Diamond player. It's very hard, in fact, and I am beginning to see that. So, thanks guys. This is going to be a cast from Hop StarCraft, and I am going to be hopping off. Peace.